And here we are. Today, we're gonna start doing the gears on Sharkeisha, Kodie's new car. I think he has like, I can't remember if it's 350s or 370s, but we're going to a 430. It's a Nitrous small block LS combo. But yeah, I'm gonna set the lift up and get it up in the air, pull the tires and start pulling everything apart. I will be back. All right, we got one of the wheels off. Now we got to pull off both of the calipers. Then we'll pull rotor off. After that, we can move to the other side, take the other wheel and tire off, and do the exact same thing. But you need to be able to pull out the axles, and then we will go ahead and pull the cover and drain the fluid, pull the C-clips, see what all's inside there. I haven't worked on this rear end before, but I have built a few 8/8s, so that's the next things to do. All right, so we got all that off. Now the axles are ready to be taken out. So we got to pull the cover, and there'll be oil in there, so we rigged this thing up because we're broke. But we're gonna pull the cover, and then we'll go from there.
I'm gonna need an extension. That's what I'm gonna need.
Come on, Kodie. Christ. Who got you these tools?
Under pressure.
Here you go, bud.
Oh, thanks.
Let me hold those.
Yeah. Be nice if my socket didn't try and come off with him.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Thought you said you were gonna get an extension.
I got one.
Oh. Probably can't hear us talking over the loud noises of air everywhere. I should have lifted this car up higher.
What do you mean, you people?
It's so much easier to record this stuff whenever somebody else is doing the work. Whenever I'm doing the work, I'm just like, well, I got to take this off, and then the next clip is all of it's off. You know what? Put one of those back in there, or two of them, one on each side. That way, whenever we break it loose, it doesn't fall.
Nah.
It's silicone.
And some of these have washers, and some of them not.
Hey, you know, who knows? With this car, anything's possible.
Yeah. I guess I should have paid attention to that when it came on.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead and step back.
Oh, joke's on me.
Get those black ones in that scraper. That's what I used on my car the other day. There you go. Making some headway now.
I'm just fucking up. Freaking up the cover.
Kodie, I put this as not for children. We can cuss.
Oh, is it not safe for work video?
Yeah.
Alright, where's the scraper?
Or we could pull that plug. There we go. I was gonna say that it does have a drain plug, but
That would be too simple.
yeah, no, it'd be too easy to do. At least it looks good.
Yeah.
I just love the way that stuff smells. Taste it? Does it taste
This
like
really
it?
ain't that bad.
It actually looks fairly new. And the silicone is still like silicone-y. Y'all, I'm messing up my hat being so low. How's that heated jacket treating you?
Good.
That's good. It'd be really cool if we had a heater, wouldn't it?
We got one. It got enough diesel to smoke us out.
Watch me pull this and it's got 430s already.
Don't go telling our gear ratio. Secret stuff.
It's already in the video.
Oh.
Before you were here, I said what we're gonna go to.
Oh.
I just give away all your secrets.
Oh. Keep your secrets then.
Why'd you blur it? I'll just blur the whole gear set.
That's not bad.
Cool. So it's full spool. We do have shims on both sides. Yo, I pulled mine apart. Never seen it before. It's an adjustable shim. To where you just adjust it with it in the. You don't have to pull it out and keep doing shims. You just adjust it.
How's that work?
No clue, but it works. All right, what did I say it is? 355s. I put them on the front of the car.
Yeah, that's it.
Nitrous car, Cardi B, Sharkeisha. I guess since I'm saying names, that's the third.
But yes, I believe John said they're 355s.
Yeah. Now we gotta do.
Stamped in it.
Yeah, it'll be stamped. It's stamped right there. You can count the teeth. It should be stamped on this one too.
Yep.
And then like that should be how many. It should have it stamped on how many teeth it has. How many teeth this has will be stamped. You can do the math, but I'm not good at that. We just need to pull these, and then. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe this has C-clip eliminators. Maybe we just need to pull these bolts here and pull the axles out.
Really?
I've never really done anything with the full spool, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
So we're gonna pull these, which should be the bearings back there, and then you should be able to pull the axles. And then we'll go from there. Because honestly, I didn't even know that it had a spool in it, but it's good that it has a spool in it. So we'll go from there. We'll be back. All right, update. It does have the C-clip eliminators. That's what all this is. 4 bolts right there. Pull it out. Here's a bearing. A little O-ring for a seal. Yeah, that's the axle. She's kind of dirty. That's a shorty. So, we got that one out. Working on getting the other one out. And then we can pull the carrier. But yeah, we'll be back. Alright, we nearly got this one done. He's already got those 3 out. Getting the last bolt out. Now this is all loose. And then we just got to pull the axle out. Any day, Cody.
Joke's on me.
Apply light pressure. Maybe grab that and hammer it. Or probably not.
Hurt my hand.
May just take that off. Will it come off? We need a slide hammer. Get the axle out.
Yep.
Cool. Well, don't drop it and bend it.
Stay put.
I got you. You gonna get a hammer?
I want you to pull it, because if you get it first try, you look like a hero. All right, well,
Car's gonna come off the
car
lift.
off the lift. Perfect.
That one wasn't that bad.
I know.
I'll try this one. That way we don't ruin nothing.
Try the nice hammer first.
God dang. Who put this in? Alright. It's time to not be nice. I don't want to ruin those studs.
Don't ruin my axle for me either.
She's coming.
Y'all.
There she is.
Ole! What bearings?
R.I.P. Nitrous car, you don't need bearings.
Nah.
Christ, look at all that rust.
Junk.
Who did this to us? Make sure you mix your axles up, that way you don't know which one's which.
Sick.
Does this thing have a breather on it?
On the rear end? I don't know. I ain't looked close enough.
Does it have anything tied to the breather? Okay, it's got the little cap, I guess. We probably ought to run a hose up and over or something, because it has a lot of rust in it. That's not so good.
Well, have you seen the rest of the car?
That's true. This thing was nice, all right?
It was.
It was a show car. It actually really was. I do like the pictures of it before. However, I do not like it at all now.
No, it's real bad.
So bad. You just wish it felt bad.
This car's so bad it makes other bad cars look not so bad.
What size do you think that is?
On a Carrier?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's not gonna be metric, but
7/8?
Deep or not deep. I think it's like 3/4 some shit. But a 19 is what it is.
yeah, 19 and
Yeah, round
3/4.
it
I
right
mean,
off.
our dams are just interchangeable.
Reverse. Set these in a very clean surface.
Mm-hmm. Whoop, let's round it off.
You also need to remember which side is up on these things, which side is down, and which side goes to which side.
So we'll just not pay attention to any of that.
No, it's a good thing we got it on camera. All right, so now axles are out, that's off, we can get a pry bar. Stay there, pull this out. And this is a pain in the butt because you got the shims here, bearing cap, shims, and everything's gonna go in different directions. What time is it?
52.
Okay.
It's 52 o'clock. Yeah, but
And it's rusted in.
it just comes right out of there like that.
It's been moved. Normally you
Damn,
have
Sam.
spreaders that spread the housing. That's how, like, I guess official people do it. Unofficial people beat stuff with hammers.
I mean, and the good news is, even when it falls off that pad, because it will here shortly,
Oh no, it's fine.
the arm will catch it, and that's the nice thing about this lift. You know, you just
I'm
it-
pretty
it
sure
doesn't
that
matter
when
where you
I'm
lift it.
touching, it's just on the ground to fix.
the ground of not my fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna rip that one off.
Oh, see what's going on here, man. This car was nice before we started this job.
It was. Well, our shock's in the way. There we go. She winked. And you also want to put this in a very clean surface too. No dirt in this.
Look at you not dropping a thing.
Well, heck yeah, bud. You gonna throw one of them rags in?
I sure will. I'll get you a clean one. There we go.
Perfect. Alright, so all this, if you use the same bearings, you do definitely need this one to go with this one. We're gonna change bearings though. Especially with all the rust that's in this thing. But anywho, next thing will be pull the drive shaft, which we probably should have done already, but oh well.
Yeah.
And then we'll pull the pinion out. After that, we'll have to clean everything, get everything, all this oil out of here because there's a lot of oil. And then we'll switch them over. You just simply bolt this one, unbolt it, take it off, put the new one on, bolt it on. Doesn't really matter how you put it on. But that one, there's a shim behind here, pinion shim. That'll set pinion depth. I don't have any of the fancy tools, so we're gonna take it off, use the shim that's behind this one on the next one, put it all together, and hopefully it's right. We're gonna run it, not check it. Just kidding. We're gonna check it. If it's not right,
Run it
then we'll have to pull it all. Run it regardless. Spray more nitrous. We're gonna have to pull it apart again and change it. For the first steps, whenever I'm checking everything, I use all old bearings, and then that way you don't have to like pull a new bearing off and on and run it. We'll run the old ones. So yeah, simple as that. We'll put the new pinion in, check all that. I'll do all this in the video, but yeah, that's that. We'll be back. All right, so we're gonna clean it out. I mean, I'll clean it out again before I put it together, but I don't really want it dripping all over the place, so we can move all this. So we'll just spray it and get all this back in our eyes. Tastes real good. There'll be like a low spot, I guess, up here with a lot of the oil, like that. Need to get all that out. Also where all your metal will be, if you have any. This one only has rust, so that's a good thing. No metal, I guess. Just rust. Did that get in your eye, Cody?
No.
That's good.
tip for your kids at home, if your buddy's spraying a lot of that, big deep breaths.
Yeah, love it. Here in a second, we're gonna do stuff that we don't even know what we're doing. You also might wear some safety glasses or something, I don't know. It's not like I work at a job where PPE is everything. And at home it's nothing. Safety last. All right, that's good enough for now. It should stop dripping. So we can move all this and continue doing what we need to do with the drive shaft and everything. Get a rag you're gonna throw away. But don't throw this in the trash can, dispose of it properly.
Yes, a correct OSHA approved disposal bin.
So Kodie got the bolts all loose and out. Boom, there we go. Will there be fluid come out? Hey, probably ain't got no fluid in it. Alright, so on this style U-joint, you just want to make sure that you don't dump these off, because there's a bunch of little needle bearings in there, and it's a pain in the ass if you do. So make sure those stay on. Some people tape them. It's a good idea. Now all we'll have to do is pull that nut there, pull this off, and push the pinion out of those bearings, which is sometimes fun. But we'll be back. There you go. Now that usually comes off easy. Yo, boom. Oh, it actually just fell right out. Perfect. You gonna grab that bearing on the other side?
Yep.
Can you?
Nope.
There's seal that in the way?
Yep.
Alright, cool, yeah. Crush sleeve right here. Usually you gotta knock these out of the bearings. Wonder who put this together. I'm just kidding. So, next thing is we'll pull this seal here off, get the bearing out. We'll leave those races in there. There's this race and that race there. We'll leave those in there for now. Whenever we do change the bearings with new gears, we'll knock those out and put new ones in. But yeah, now we're ready to clean everything and swap over. Well, we still got to get that bearing out, but swap everything over and then start the setup. Cross-threaded or torqued, tight is tight. I think some of those may have had a little more Loctite than the others.
Yeah.
Either that or your impact was just like, I'm gonna be strong on this one.
Well, it is a Ching Chong Chinatown.
Nice. Who did this to us? Alright, now we'll knock this off. Here in a second we'll press that bearing off, but nope. Yo, everything that I'm like, oh, we gotta hit it real hard to get it off, comes right off. And then the axle that I was like should slide right out, we had to beat the shit out of.
Made me look like a punk.
For real. I was like, oh, the pinion, you usually gotta beat the shit out of them to get it out, and then it fell right out. Alright, I'm gonna clean this up, and then we got the new ring gear right here. Put it on, and then clean it all up. We'll still use these old bearings for all the mock-up stuff. I'm just gonna take that one off, put it on the new pinion. It is right here. So you can see the difference to your blurred gear. No, I'm just kidding. 330 or 430?
430.
430. 355.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll be back. Cool. All right, so you just want to make sure that you evenly bring it up, nice and slow. like that. So that one's all seated. Now we can take all these out and we'll actually put the Loctite on that we're supposed to, put them back, and then we'll torque it to spec, not with this. But we just used that way we pulled it up, made it sure it was seated flush. You want to clean everything, make sure there's no burrs. But yeah, nice and clean. So we used some of the red thread locker. You ain't got to put a whole bunch on there. We already did all these. So we'll run these down and then get my handy dandy torque wrench over there and torque all those down. And if you're doing like a different rear end gear, then you know these torque specs are all going to be different. You need to look up what your manufacturer recommends. I'm sure that it may be a little different for the spool and stuff, but it's all going to be close to the same. So we'll be back. All right, so whenever we tighten them, we went in a cross pattern like that. We also use this to hold it, because what we went up to couldn't just hold it by hand. So that's all good. We'll clean it up a little bit, get all the styrofoam off of it. I think there's some on the other side of the gear. Yeah, there's little stuff. But we'll clean that off with brake clean, and then the next thing will be press that off and put it on this one. Whenever we press it off, there will be a shim underneath there. We need to measure it, see what size it is, and then put the same one there, and we'll go from there.
All right, we got the pinion rigged up on the vise, got the bearing separator, pinion's in there. Just got the socket on the lip, so we're gonna make sure and press down on the pinion here, and hopefully it'll spit that bearing out for us.
There we go. We have our custom-made press piece right here.
Yes.
High dollar.
Yeah, press into the bearing separator a little bit, but that's how you get them off.
Yeah, we'll just loosen that off. That'll come out. We'll reuse this bearing. Hopefully we didn't run that. That's the main thing you want to not do. See how it's pressed out? I don't think it warped it or nothing. We should be good. But the only thing we're using this for is a setup, and then we'll change it to a new bearing anyways. All right, so here's the shims I was talking about. These are your pinion shims. Cool. So we got two. We'll clean them up and then check the thickness, and then use that same shim thickness behind the new one. They do make tools for checking your pinion depth and all that stuff, but you can do it this way. It's more of a pain in the ass this way, but if you don't have all those fancy tools, you can still get it done. So these ones have like a weird lip. We'll probably use new ones, but we'll check this thickness. 32. Yeah, 31 and a half, 32. Cool. We'll see if we can get one that's 32 and put it behind here. Put this old bearing back on. Also, you want to verify all your numbers. I did the rear end and riffraff, and the numbers were different, and it threw me for a loop for like 5 days. So just check all your numbers. As long as you got the right numbers, right sizes, good to go. All right, so we use the old race. That way it'll kind of press all the way around, hopefully evenly, not mess it up, because we don't have the right tools, but we're making it work. We did put a single shim there, really close to the amount that we took out. Okay, let's see how this works. There we go. Cool. Should be good. Now we will put this in with the old crush sleeve, which goes right there. Yeah, I think the bearing's cool. All right, we'll use the old crush sleeve, put it back in. We'll just get all the slack out of it. We won't like crush it or set the actual torque spec or whatever on the pinion. And then put the carrier in there, see what the pattern looks like, see if we need more or less shim there, and go from there. Alright, so what we did, installed the pinion, all the old bearings, put that back on, used the old nut, ran it up with the impact until we got all the play out of it, in and out, and that's all we need to do for now. Now, we will bolt all that up, try to use the old shims, and see what it needs from there. Also, on all this, the shims you take out need to be the exact same thickness added together. You know, you may have to move some to this side, some to the other side, but the total needs to be the same from what you take out to what you put in, because you don't want any less bearing preload than what it had before. Alright, so we got the carrier all in there, or the spool, I guess, ring gear. These are on the right side. We had to move some shims around a little bit, but we got some backlash. On this rear end, we needed 8 to 12. I think we're really close to 12 right now, so we're gonna go ahead and put some of the paint on the ring gear and see what the pattern looks like. All right, so we use the brush and the paint. That's what it looks like before. You can really see. But yeah, now we're just gonna roll it through, and then you wanna keep pressure on one of the gears, either one, and move the other one. That way it'll, you know, make a little wear mark. Yeah, we'll see what it does. Hopefully it's good. We'll go from there. So here's the pattern that it wore in. It's a really good pattern. So that means that all of let's see, the pinion depth will be correct, and then also our side-to-side backlash is good. So now we need to pull it all apart. We'll change all the bearings out, use those same shims, and put it all back together again. And then on the final, I like to check it again just in case anything changes, which it shouldn't. But that's a really good pattern, so I'm happy with that. We'll probably try to get around 10 thou backlash, which is the sound you hear, which we check that with this, and I'll show you whenever we do the final setup. But yeah, there's that. Now we get to pull it all back apart. So thankfully we got it on the first try. All we really had to do was move some shims from here to here to move it over that way. We were good to go. Alright, so we got the seal and other bearing out. Now we just need to drive those races out. That one and one back farther. Here's the bearing, a little shim. I'm assuming that's more like a slinger for oil, and then the seal. So we'll put the new seal in. It all came in that package over there. Little rebuild kit. So yeah, everything's out now. We just got to change the bearings and put it back together. All right, we got the bearing races out. That one there, and that one here. Cleaned everything up. I got the races in the freezer, and we got an install tool. So I will tomorrow put the races in, and then we can put the pinion in, set preload and all that, crush the crush sleeve, and go from there. Alright, so we got the new bearing races installed. We used a install tool, drove them in. I put them in the freezer, that way it'd be easier to put them in, but you can install them without doing that. But yeah, it's all flush, seated all the way in, so we're good to go. Now we'll install the pinion. Alright, we got the new seal in, that little slinger, the bearing, all that's ready to go. So we'll take the pinion, put the new crush sleeve on it. We'll put some of this assembly loop stuff on the bearing. You can put like any oil, but I like doing that way you don't put it together dry. Although before you do anything, you're gonna have fluid in there, but still. So we'll put that on there, put it up in there, and then you gotta torque it with the new nut. Let's see, there's the new nut. So there's that. All right, we got the pinion put in, got the preload set. To do that with the new crush sleeve, you just have to torque this, which it takes a lot to crush the crush sleeve, but it's all set up. And now we're ready to put the carrier in, or spool. Alright, got the carrier spool back in. Torqued these. I had to adjust some of the shims a little bit, but we got good backlash. Pretty tight. There's the pattern. I think it still looks pretty good. I was concerned it might be too close to the edge, but I think it's tight. So I'm gonna clean that off, and then we're good to put the axles in and put the cover back on. Put this back together. So Kodie had cleaned the cover already. So we put a new gasket on, a little bit of silicone on both sides, not much. And now we're gonna bolt it up. All right, so we got the axles in, C-clip eliminators tightened up, rotor's on, this backing plate is on. We still need to tighten this. We need to put fluid in it still, the drive shaft in it, and then some tires on it, and we'll be good to go.
What's up, everybody? Michael just went to work, so he left me with just a little bit to do. He did all the hard stuff, thankfully. He left me with the easy stuff. So basically all we got left, I'm sure he covered it before he left, I haven't looked, but he got the rotors on, so we just need to hang the calipers up there. We need to tighten the braces on the cover here, put fluid in it, put the drive shaft back in it, and then throw the wheels and tires on. I think that's it. He told me there's some clearance issues on the back of the rotor, but I'll just pretend like I look because I don't really care about that. So I'll get the calipers on first, and then I'll probably do the drive shaft. I need to look and see how much it's going to hold so I can run to the parts store, grab some gear oil, and fill that little baby up, put some wheels and tires on it, set it down, man. Should be a pretty quick process. Michael did all the hard work, got the rear end knocked out for me. He did an awesome job on that. So we'll wrap the steel up and hopefully do some racing. All right, so we got everything put back together. Took it out, made a few rips in it. Everything feels awesome. Car's running good. Definitely noticed the gear change. Jay went out, made a hit in Kodie after the new fuel pump, or the secondary fuel pump, and everything feels good with that. So we'll throw a fresh set of plugs in it. I made a bar change, so we're gonna have to set pinion angle tomorrow, go over the shocks, and load them on trailer and head to Dallas. Hell yeah.